Hi, I'm Leanne from Reboot Mindset Coaching, and today I would love to take you through a very cool technique which will help you totally slay your social anxiety so that you can go to events and be totally fine with them. Because it's not actually the event that is the problem, is it? It's the feelings that you have about the event. And the great thing about that is that you can control your feelings, but maybe up until now, you didn't know how to. So they've always controlled you. Well, I'm going to help you today by taking you through a very cool technique which will help you get back in control, not only of social anxiety, but any phobia. This works a treat on phobias, and it involves a lot of imagination. Now, before you start saying, oh, I'm no good at that, yes, you are, because your subconscious mind, which creates the anxiety, is your imagination. And even now, me thinking, let's just say, the example that we'll use today is a school reunion, a 25-year school reunion. You feel it, don't you? But we're not there. So how are you feeling it if you didn't have an imagination? Ha ha! See, you are magnificent, and you are going to nail this because anxiety is imagination, which doesn't mean that it's not real. It just means that you're already good at it. Before I take you into this technique, just very, very, very quickly, there's one other thing that I would love for you to do, and that is to swap the label. Currently, your label is my social anxiety, and you use that a lot. My social anxiety is bad today. I hope my social anxiety doesn't ruin this. I don't know if I can come to that because of my social anxiety. When you apply a label to yourself, your mind will meet you there, and it will do as it's told, because your mind will always do as it's told. So instead of saying my social anxiety, I would really suggest that you swap it with this. I'm learning how to become comfortable in social situations. I'm learning how to become comfortable in social situations. See the difference? And your mind will go, okay, so we better pay attention here. Onto the technique. As I said before, the example that I'm going to use with you today, because it's no point in me taking you through a technique unless you can visualize how it's going to look and how to use it. So let's use the example of a 25-year school reunion. We're already assuming that we're going to walk in and everyone's going to be more successful than us, more gorgeous than us, more skinny than us. We're already assuming that the night is going to end in peril. In fact, when it comes to worst case scenarios, we're already there. We can see ourselves being judged, excluded, not belonging, feeling like we could just escape, having no one to talk to. And it's crippling. So I'm not going to tell you to stop it, because if you could, you already would have. But here's a trick for you. This is called the FAST phobia model, and you can use it on anything. Stick with me here, okay? We're going to do it a few times so that it becomes familiar with you. This is the first time that you have probably come across this, so it's going to be new, which means it's going to be a bit, but it's okay. I'm going to do it with you. All you need for this is three things. A time. So let's imagine, for example, the school reunion. So the school reunion is one thing. A time before the school reunion when everything was fine, and then a time after the school reunion where everything's fine. That's it. And we're going to turn this into a movie. And it's going to look like, here I'm fine, here's the school reunion, here I'm fine. So before, in, after. Now, you can liken this to anything. It could be a conference. It could be a speed dating night. It could be anything. All we need is before, when we're, oh, everything's fine. During, freak out. After, oh, everything's fine again. Now, it doesn't need to be immediately before or immediately after the event. It could be you heading off to bed because you're really tired, and then the event, and then it's you going home and you're like, well, nailed it. Doesn't matter what it is. So here we go. This movie that we're going to create is before, during, after, and the whole thing is going to go for like 2 seconds. It's going to be really quick. But we're going to do it forwards and backwards, but we're going to do it in a really cool way. Are you ready? Are you ready to get rid of your social anxiety? Are you ready to see how easy it is to take back control of your mind? Good. Step 1, you're sitting in a movie theater, and up on the screen is a black and white still image of you before the reunion. Just doing, everything's fine. It's just a still image, and it's black and white. Now you're going to imagine coming out of yourself and going up to the projection booth, where the movie comes from. So there you are up there, and now you're looking down and you can see yourself watching the movie. It's really cool. So there you are up in the projection booth, and you can see the back of you watching the movie. And now the movie's going to start. It's in black and white. It's going to go for 2 seconds, and it's going to go forward. So there you are before, through the anxiety, out the other side. Everything's great. So it's a black and white movie that goes really, really quick, that speeds up from before, during, after. That was easy, wasn't it? So now is step 2 of the process. You're going to come out of the projection booth into the movie, and it's real life happening around you. And you're in that moment at the end where everything's great, feeling all happy and content and badassy. But what's going to happen now is you're in the movie, and we're going to rewind it really, really fast. But this time it's in color. So there you are. Before we start, you're there in that happy moment in a freeze frame. You're in color, and you can see what's around you. You can hear what's going on. It's like real life. We're going to rewind it now in color. You can hear everything. Everything's moving backwards. Ready? We're happy at the end. And suddenly we're going to rewind in color. And there you are going backwards through the event, back out to the beginning where everything's fine. So it's the same movie. So when we go forward, it's in black and white. And when we go backward, it's in color. So let's do that again. You're sitting in the movie theater. Up on the screen is a still black and white snapshot of you at the beginning. Now we're going to come out of ourselves and up into the projection booth and watch you. This is called disassociated. And the reason we do this is because when you are watching yourself and it's in black and white, your mind goes, oh, that's not very interesting, is it? So it doesn't align any emotion to it. You'll find that when you go forward and it's really fast, it's in black and white, and you're watching yourself watching it, you don't feel anything. And that's what we're teaching your mind. So it's good to know the theory behind it, isn't it? We're actually, when you are an observer, AKA up in the projection box, you're watching something, therefore you don't feel the emotion. You only feel the emotion when you're in it. And when we're in it, we go backwards, because then it actually doesn't feel like the actual thing. It's a trick, and your mind loves it, and you will just, social anxiety. So let's do it again. I'll do it again with you, and we're going to do this a couple of times, okay? There we go. Freeze frame up on the screen, black and white still of you beforehand. Everything's cool. Now out of your body, up into the projection booth. Now you're looking down, looking at yourself, watching the black and white movie, and it goes before, freak out, and we're after, everything's great. Out of the projection booth, into the movie, real life, everything's happening around you, and we're going to rewind. There you are, happy, backwards, through the freak out, back to the other side, everything's safe again. Out of the movie, up into the projection box, looking down, watching yourself, watching the movie in black and white, fast forward, out the other side. In the movie, rewinding, backwards in color, back to the other side. Now watching yourself, going forward, there you are, black and white. Now in the movie, backwards, rewinding back to the beginning. Back up, in black and white, forward, watching yourself, start, during, finish, in it, rewinding, finish, rewinding back through it, back to the beginning. Watching yourself in black and white. The black and white movie goes forward, freak out to the other side. In it, color, we're going backwards, through it, back out the other side. You do that 5 or 6 times where you're watching the black and white movie go forward, and then you're experiencing in it the color movie going backwards. You do that 5 or 6 times, you're going to be hard pushed to even find that social anxiety, because you have now taught your mind not to put emotion on it. So when it goes forward, which is the reality, we've got it in black and white, and it's really fast, and you're observing it as a bystander, your mind goes, it's not really interesting, because there's no emotion. The only time we put the color and the reality into it is when we go backwards, because then your mind also goes, well, it's not really real because we're going backwards and it's really fast. So you're removing the emotion out of that situation. It's very cool. It'll drop a phobia in 5 minutes, less even. It is a very cool technique. The secret is just to think of a time beforehand, the actual situation, and then a time when you're happy again. One goes forward in black and white, the other one goes backwards in color. And that's it. Now, you can relate this to future situations because you're already imagining that thing that's coming up that you're not comfortable with. Use that. Use the situation that you've created. And think of a time where you're out doing something completely unrelated and you're happy. It might be, having a meal with friends, or out shopping, or sitting on the couch watching Netflix. And then all of a sudden you go into the situation and then out the other side where maybe you're back on the couch. It could simply be that simple. You on the couch, freak out, you on the couch. And then we go backwards. You on the couch, freak out, back onto the couch. It could be that simple. If you are finding that you're thinking, I don't know, that's too confusing, I don't know what to do, then just be aware that that is your mind preventing you from getting rid of the social anxiety. And you don't want that. So you are going to rewind this video and you're going to watch it again until you do become familiar with it, because you have a choice right here. Keep the social anxiety, fuck off the social anxiety. And I'm pretty sure I know which one you're going to choose, which means this is going to work really well for you. Now, if you would like me to work with you on this, or even better still, if you'd like to drop me a line to let me know how you nailed this and what was possible for you on the other side, I would love to hear from you. If you've got any questions, shoot them through. You can find me at rebootyourlife.com.au. My name's Leanne. Please drop me a line. Let me know what a badass you are.